Well, all signs are really starting to show Cam Ward to the Titans. Good evening. Welcome back to another Titan Bros video. My name is Gabriel. I'm your host, joined as always by one Josiah Pilcher.
Howdy, people. How you doing?
Yeah, we didn't really put in a whole lot of show prep because last week I had no voice. I wasn't even ill. I don't even know what really happened. I had no voice. So I was gonna be talking like this. So we're not gonna do a video. And then the next 2 weekends, I'm gonna be on a cruise ship. So lucky me. So this might be our last shot before the draft. We might have one more video before the draft. So we're basically gonna do a little bit of draft talk just to see how everybody's feeling. Because just like the not really clickbaity title says, all signs point to the Titans drafting Cam Ward. I said Cam Warden. Here's the thing about that one. That was a mistake. I just now noticed it says Cam Warden, but some people have already taken to calling him the Warden as a nickname. So it must have been had that on the top of mind. I just put in Cam Warden. But anyways, we'll just stick with it. Hopefully it catches on. But
you're an idiot.
I've always been afraid I was going to make a typo one of these days in the titles because I just really rushed through this stuff. I really should show prep way more than I do. I just kind of sat down and just start jawing. So, yeah, to get up to date and free agency, nothing to report. As far as draft, had his pro day. Titans were there, not just Titans, but it was like Borgonzi, Chad Brinker, Brian Callahan. Apparently, even Nick Holes was there, which why is he there? I don't really think he does anything for us. But anyways, he was there, including the entire Titans, not media, but like the media productions, like the big time cameras. Like they're already trying to shoot his path to the Titans stuff, basically. All signs, quite literally, all signs point the Titans taking Cam Ward to pick number 1.
Yeah, and it's funny because when the offseason started, that's exactly what I wanted to do. To be honest, I didn't care too much if it was him or Shadio. I just wanted to get a QB because we had such bad quarterback play last year. But what is it?
You were definitely hard leaning Shador, though.
Well, yeah, and I think I don't know about hard, but I was more wanting Shadio. I agree with that, but I did always say I just want a quarterback though. Doesn't matter who it is, but yes, I would rather Shadio. And to be honest, I think I would rather Shadio over Cam Ward. I just think he's a better quarterback. He did just as much with less, in my opinion. Maybe not just as much when it comes to win totals, but they did win with him. But he had a way worse receiving core, in my opinion. Well, he had Travis Hunter, which was good. But then his offensive line was awful. He had a horrible offensive line 2 years in a row and was still put up great numbers.
His run game was worse too.
What?
But I think this run numbers or running game was way worse too. The biggest problem with Shador is he just has no high end upside. You know what I'm trying to say?
I think he's really smart, and I think that's a plus. Or do I care about that way more than I care about strength of an arm, how far can you throw?
And as much as I understand that, there's probably a reason that the league has a second round grade on him. I kind of sort of liked the idea of him because he kind of fits the Callahan scheme, like playing on time and in a rhythm. But the problem with that was, and it's something Tyler Rowland on Locked on Titans said, he said, why would you want to draft a quarterback that fits a head coach that's probably not even going to survive the season?
But in my defense, it doesn't matter what coach we have. I think I would rather Shadio. But I agree, if the only reason you wanted Shadio is because he fits Callahan's scheme, then I understand that. But what I was saying is that at the beginning of this offseason, I wanted a quarterback. That's what I wanted. And I am okay with it still. Probably would still rather have that. But I feel like as the offseason went on, more I warmed up to the idea of trading that pick. But here's what I say though. I say trade it, and I've always been like this, only for like a good trade. Not like I guess, I guess we'll swap picks and get a first round. Like I do want like a crazy trade. If you're not gonna offer us something crazy, then yeah, stick and pick. And I'm still like that, but I think like you said to start off the episode, I think just everything's pointing towards Cam Warden, the guy. That's what if that's not what's gonna happen, then the Titans really did do a good job selling us this because that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, now they did say, as every good GM should say, that everything's still on the table. However, obviously I don't have sources. I'm just a dude. But people with sources are saying that the Titans are now saying, we really like Cam Ward. So if somebody wants him, they have to give up 3 first-round picks to get him. 3. That is steep. And guess what? I would absolutely take 3 first-round picks for Cam Warden. However, if someone doesn't make that insane, outlandish type trade package there, I'm kind of okay with sticking and picking.
Yeah, that's exactly. I agree with you.
Which is kind of funny. Originally, you were saying, even if you watch some of our videos, as soon as the draft or as soon as the season was over, you said take a quarterback, preferably Shedeur Sanders, no matter what. I'm like, oh, I really kind of like the trade idea. And now we sort of kind of switched where you're like, oh, we just have so many holes in getting a nice trade package and possibly having 2 top 5 first round picks next year. Sounds amazing. And for me, I'm just like, I don't want Brandon Allen to be our starting quarterback.
You know what's funny? I would say if Brandon Allen's our starting quarterback, man, we would be probably top 3 pick, definitely, and maybe top pick.
Well, we wouldn't win a game.
Brandon Allen's not a good quarterback. Like, not even good backup.
He has less NFL experience than Will Levis, and he's 33-ish, so he's old too.
And I would say this. Do you agree with this? If you go into a season with Brandon Allen as your quarterback, and it's not because of an injury, your star goes down. If that's how you start a season, that just tells the league we're tanking. Like, there's no other reason than
there's
we're just
no
tanking.
way. There's no way you can convince anybody you're actually trying.
Yeah, but I would say I think one reason that I am more like, oh, we got holes. Free agency, we brought some people in, but to me, free agency still was underwhelming enough where I'm just like, this team's bad. This is a bad football team with a lot of holes. So I'm like, man, get a couple more second or third round picks, get a couple more first round picks would be huge because this roster is bad. Like, and as we stand, our receiving core is horrible, and I would still say, even though I'm pretty excited bringing a nice rookie quarterback like Cam Warden, he has nobody to throw the ball to, nobody, and that still scales me a little bit. We'll see what we do in the draft, but free agency didn't help us much. We beefed up the offensive line a little bit, I guess, but I'm just looking at this roster, and I'm like, we got a lot of holes to fix, and not many picks to do in this draft.
Yes, sadly, 100% true. And that's why I originally was okay with the.
That's shocked. That's crazy that we both switched. We really did.
Yeah, well, I ended up switching for a couple reasons. One, it seems like it's inevitable, and the last thing I want to do is go down kicking and screaming with us picking a quarterback first overall. That's number reason one. Second reason is all the quarterbacks that I was interested in either were not interested in or just went off the market because I kind of wanted Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins. Those are the kind of the 2 that I wanted if we were going to go a 1-year bridge quarterback. And apparently the Falcons are legitimately just going to hold on to him as their backup for now.
That's a highly paid backup.
I agree. I don't know if that was the best idea in the world for the Falcons because I'm sure they could get a 4th, maybe even a 3rd-round pick for him.
I would think so.
So I don't know why you'd want to have him just hanging around as a backup. So there's that. And then Aaron Rodgers, just at this point, I think it's either Steelers or retirement.
Yeah,
for him, he just I don't know if it was him or if it was us or both, but there was just never any interest there. So because of that, I'm like, I can't do Will Levis again for another season.
The only way I could do Will Levis for another season is if I want to go in 17. If I'm like, well, you know what, I want a top 5 pick again, maybe top 3, and I want to lose every game, then yeah, bring Will Levis in because why not?
And here's another thing that made me switch sides a little bit. Is originally I was like, why just reach on Cam Ward, watch us reach on Shedeur Sanders. We're terrible again. Arch Manning's sitting right there next year. But guess what? We have Cam Ward. We don't want Arch Manning. We'll give Cam Ward another shot. That's what I was originally saying. But now they're saying there's like a lot of people are basically all but reporting that he's not Arch Manning is not coming out next year.
Yeah,
It'll be the year after that,
and
which
that's
means
2 years away.
Right. So it's possible what if we bring in Cam Ward, he's terrible, and we're a bottom feeder again the next 2 seasons, then we'll be right there able to possibly draft him. So
yeah. So I agree with that. That is a good point. I am curious to see what the next, and you never know after, because we have to have another college season play, and so there'll be some people that kind of hunts the stock, and some people that will help themselves. But I am curious to see the quarterbacks come out next draft. Are they going to be better than Cam Warden? We're like, dang it, we made the wrong decision. We should have stuck and picked one of the quarterbacks in the next year's draft. Or are they going to be like bad, where you're like, yep, we did the right job of keeping Cam Warden. What I'm just scared about, though, like I'm going to get behind Cam Warden. If we draft him, I'm a Cam Warden guy now. I'm sticking him. I'm excited. Let's go, Cam. But I'm like, I think he's going to have a coach this year, get rid of him, start all over again next year. That's not good for quarterbacks. I'm afraid that he's going to have nobody to throw to. That it's going to shadow his confidence because he's going to have not a great rookie season because there's not much to go to work with here. We're going to lose a lot of games. That's just going to happen, And it's like all this sounds like that, right? That's exactly how you break the will of a quarterback. This is how you break him, and he's just never hits his potential because of it. And all that is very likely, actually, not just possible, but likely, I think.
Yeah, sadly, because it's impossible to deny our hole at wide receiver is so
horrible. Like honestly, we
humongous.
should be ashamed of ourselves that this is the receiver core we have.
Yeah, we brought in Dorchy or something, some no-name guy who's like 28 years old who's basically just bounced around on teams, and Van Jefferson. That's it.
Terrible.
So basically, we added a number 5 and a number 6 wide receiver to our roster. And we
don't really have, and honestly, you can argue that Calvin Ridley might be a better 2 than 1, but let's just say he's 1. You can argue we don't have a 2 on this, like at all on this team.
No, you could argue we don't have 3. We don't have wide receiver 2. We don't have wide receiver 3. We might not even have wide receiver 4. On our roster.
Pathetic. Like even if, I think you and I think would want us to draft a receiver in the second round. Is that what you would rather have than an edge?
I'm assuming we're gonna have to. But then then we need 2 starting edge rushers as well.
Well, that's true too.
Which is why I used to want to trade down so bad.
Even if we, that's true. But even if we draft a receiver in the second round and he turns out pretty good, I'm like, this is still a bad receiving core. This is still a bad receiving core because there's no depth whatsoever, and we still need a 3.
I mean, there's a lot of trade. No, I just say the word trade all the time now. There's a lot of talk about Luther Burden falling into the second round.
That would be nice.
But we could take Luther Burden, and we still need a wide receiver 3, and we still need a wide receiver 4.
Like, honestly, we should be ashamed of ourselves. Like, I'm looking at this receiver and I'm like, this is pathetic.
Yeah.
Absolutely pathetic. Why can't Titans ever get good receiver and core?
We'll throw out a receiver. We'll throw out a receiver. What? Like the bet. I said we'll throw out a receiver.
Yeah.
Rashard Matthews. He's a starting level wide receiver. He's our number 1. We don't need a 2 or 3 or 4. And then after that, I was like, AJ Brown. We got AJ Brown. We don't need anybody else around him. We had Corey Davis for a little bit, so I guess that's not really fair. But then, like after that, we had just DeAndre Hopkins, and then a bunch of around DeAndre Hopkins. And then last year it was Calvin Ridley, and then DeAndre Hopkins didn't last too long. But it's just like we think we need a good receiver. We don't need a duo or a trio.
No, yeah, forget duo and trio. We can't even get ourselves one decent receiver. Yeah. I mean, I guess Calvin Ridley is decent, but that problem to me, he's just decent. I think he's, Oh, that's what I say. If we bring in Cam Warden, he's going to have absolutely nothing to throw to. Now, his offensive line might be decent. Maybe.
His offensive line could be league average, and that is absolutely something any NFL team can work with as a league average offensive line.
But that receiver,
who's he throwing the ball to? Who is he? I don't care. Mr. Callahan could be a genius, but you're not scheming these people open.
Nope.
Like you're not doing it with any kind of consistency.
Nope.
And if you can, then we found us a nice diamond here. Nice little gem.
I was about to say, you know what we need to do? Second receiver, third receiver. Well, we don't have a third. Fourth is receiver, fifth is receiver. But probably we have edge problems too. We need bring in edge rushers. But
it sounds kind of tempting.
What?
So it would sound kind of tempting if Luther Burden can play outside more than the slot, as if we could in the second round go Luther Burden. And then in the fourth round, you know who Xavier Restrepo is?
The name Restrepo.
Yeah, he was Cam Ward's number one receiver.
Oh, yeah.
He's a slot guy. Yeah, and he just sucked at his pro day mostly because he was slow. But he's like a 4.7 or something like that. And he was saying he was hurt, and that's why he ran that slow.
But I would say, I'm a person, I always said pro day scout combined can be overrated because watch the tape. Do they make plays on tape on football games? It's so much different than how fast they are and stuff. Because how many times do you see freak athletes that actually do nothing in the NFL? And then you have other people that they don't really pop on the screen of all the verticals and the cone drills and all that. And but they can play football. You know what I mean? And I'm not blown away. Like, I'm not like, oh, he's slow. I'm like, he had a bad jump, I think, also. But most people say he knows how to get open. He doesn't drop. And I'm like, that sounds like a good receiver to me.
Yeah, that's the thing is I agree with what you're saying, but for some reason, so many NFL teams are still just not that way. They just
I agree with that. And I think
if you're big, strong, and fast, they get you. If you're slow and small and whatnot, then they don't want to have anything to do with you. So I'm hoping that was enough to tank his stock because he is going to be like a second, maybe third round pick is where he's projected to go. If that sunk his stock just enough to fall into the fourth round, and we have the first, second, or third pick in the fourth round, and we scoop him up.
Yeah, that's possible. Can you
imagine that if we have Luther Burden, Calvin Ridley, Xavier Restrepo?
That would be something because I think Cam Wood will have good chemistry with him, if nothing else.
Yeah, I agree. That would be nice. I want one of those two. That's like I start getting names. I start as like it's a month away from the draft, less than a month now. I start attaching certain names like these are the guys I want.
Yeah.
I want one of those. Obviously, it'd be a dream world if we were able to somehow get both of them. But I want either Luther Burden or Xavier Restrepo.
I would say this: if do you remember the receiver I wanted last year in the second round?
Don't tell me. Let's think. Oh yeah, Lad McConkey.
Yeah, that he turned out pretty good. I mean, just 1 year, but he was pretty good. I would say it sucks that every draft we want a receiver because every year we have lousy receivers. You know that? This is like we never could have good receivers. Last year we at least had D Hop and Ridley, but we're like, we need to bring in a young guy, and then D Hop turned out to be a shell of himself. And
it's kind of sad to see.
Yeah,
Ridley Father Time officially caught up to him.
It happened.
I mean, technically
fast sometimes.
It does happen fast, and he even knows that because if he thought he was still playing at the top of his game, why would he sign a 1 year, $6 million deal with the Ravens? Somebody who thinks they're still on top of their game ain't gonna settle for that. So,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I'm just
anyway. With all that being said, Cam Warden, I do think. One good thing about getting a young quarterback like him that maybe can, pop on your screen, make some good plays, even if you're not winning, is it brings at least a little excitement in Nashville on what's going to be most likely a lousy year.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I don't see how we can be any good. Now, I used to be the eternal optimist. I'm sure you remember those days.
Yeah.
But with the 7-10, losing 9 straight to miss the playoffs. Was it 9 straight, 8 straight? One of the either. Or was it 7 straight? It might have been 7. It was 7 straight. I'm making those up because we were 7-3 and then ended up 7-10.
That was unnecessary.
Unnecessary. So with a 7-game losing streak to miss the playoffs, where we still were in a win and in game at the last game of the season, but having that happen, then follow it up with 6-11, and follow it up with being the worst team in the NFL. These 3 years of they broke me. They broke me. Finally, it finally happened. So I'm way more than I've ever been I'll believe it when I see it kind of person. Yeah. Now, maybe he's changed his tune at this point, but something Easton Freeze used to say at the very beginning of the offseason a lot, he said the Titans are nowhere near as bad as their record says, They need an edge rusher. They need a right tackle, and they need a quarterback. That's what he kept saying. So I think the Titans are at least average if they just get those three things.
Well, we got a tackle.
So we got a tackle now.
Got to get a quarterback. We
Got
don't
to get a
have
quarterback
edge.
now. No, edge rusher, yeah, still not good.
But the problem is our receiving core is so much worse than what we thought would be too. I think.
Yeah, at that
Like
point,
our receivers was bad last year, but this is way worse.
Yeah, at this point, that's what our issue is. It's edge, wide receiver. If we somehow fill those two holes, but here's the problem. We talked about this last time. We need more than just one of each. We don't need one wide receiver, one edge, and then we're good to go. We need 2 starting edge rushers. We need at least 2 starting wide receivers, possibly 3.
One thing that surprised me is there's still, yes, they're old, but there's still names out there for edge. I'm shocked that we haven't just bring in some bodies.
Yeah, that's what I was actually in the middle of trying to pull up on my phone here is edge rushers. All the edge rushers are still out there. Edge position teams, not all teams. I need free agents. Where do you go for free agent? Oh, type free agents. Okay, I guess that's how you do it. I always forget how to work this site. But anyways, available. There we go. Von Miller. I'll pass on that. He's 36 years old. Matt Judon is still out there, 32. I would like Matt Judon. Actually, there's 2 people I want. There's Matt Judon, and then there's also Zadarius Smith, who's also 32 years old.
See what? Unless they want something stupid, all right, bring them in. Because if they don't do well, guess what? The people we have now, we know it's going to do. We won't. The people we have now won't do well. So I'm like, just give it a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking through the list. That's honestly all that I'm even interested in.
Unless there's something stupid they're running, I'm like, why not give them a try? Because like right now, and we talk about receivers, because to me, at least right now, that's more important if we're bringing a new quarterback in, a rookie quarterback. But our edge, though, is a joke too. Like this is a joke of people we have.
Askew 22. I like the profile picture. He says, "What's up?" And then he follows it up with, "I wish we could wait on Cade Klubnik or Arch Manning." Is it Klubnik or is it Kubiak?
Both sounds good. Yeah,
but yeah, I agree with you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say what you just said.
Yeah, probably Arch Manning. I feel like I feel like Arch Manning will not be next year's draft, but the year after that. So that's 2 years of actually sucking to get him.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a feeling he's gonna be the first overall pick.
Yeah, I agree with that. But like we said earlier, I really feel like since he's not coming out next season, like the 2026 draft, I think we could easily get ourselves, if Cam Ward's bad again, give him 2 seasons. If he's bad,
that's
then
true. That's true.
Yeah. So, I just pulled up wide receiver free agents. Not signed. I want available. Keenan Allen, 32.9, which means he's about to be, I don't know if it's 0.9 or that means 9 months. Regardless, he's pushing 33. Originally, I was most certainly out on him.
He's better than nothing, probably.
He's better than nothing. But I just said that whole thing wrong. I was originally out. I was like, he's too old. But as bad as it's looking, I would take him.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper's still out there. I still kind of lean him, but he also had a very down year, and he was in a pass-happy Bills offense.
Yeah. The only thing is you always take the chance when you get traded in the middle of a season like that of just not having chemistry and, you just don't get used. That happens a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Tyler Lockett, he's still out there. I like Tyler Lockett, I think, more than Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's ready to be 33, which I guess technically Tyler Lockett's 32, but he's like a good half year younger, which I guess that doesn't make that big of a difference. One of those two. I'd be okay with one of those two. But then outside that, we got like a Robert Woods again, Nelson Aguilar, DJ Chark. What about Elijah Moore? You like Elijah Moore?
Not really.
Not really.
I would say none of those are great, but the better one we have, we don't want to start the season. What's the Steelers guy that we signed? And
Van Jefferson.
Yeah, you want him to be our number 2 receiver right now?
Can't
Like
be.
Amari Cooper. See what he used to be? No, but I would take him over the Van, whatever his name was.
Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe Elijah Moore as a number 3 or 4, because he's gotten the worst season he ever had was his second. He had 446 yards. His best season, he had 640. So he had 500s, 400s, 600s, 500s. At least he could be the NWI numbers.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
I would say one thing is, with them not getting, longer they go without being signed, hopefully that means more they are willing to go for a cheap deal,
Yeah, here's the open. But I'm thinking at this point, a lot of free agents and teams are just kind of like,
wait until
we're
after
on
the draft.
hold. Yeah, we got 3 weeks until the draft. Let's just everybody just calm down. Everybody just hang on. We'll wait until the draft is over, and then we'll fill the last couple holes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
Yeah,
I
so
just feel
Cam
like
Warden.
I'm kind of excited to get Cam Warden. I'm excited to get a quarterback. It's going to bring some excitement in Nashville. But the problem is just, having nobody to throw to on your first season is going to be tough. That's just going to be a tough thing to ask of him, because he's got nobody to throw to. So which means he's probably going to have a lot of sacks when he just stand there looking around, and just nobody's getting open.
He does do good on off script plays.
Yeah. He's gonna need to.
That's when Will Levis liked to throw his picks the most. So he's gonna have to have a lot of off script plays. Because think about to beat the Titans, what are you gonna do? Double Ridley,
triple maybe,
maybe triple Calvin Ridley, and no, ain't worried about anybody else.
Yeah, exactly. This offense is so easy to beat right now.
Unless you're a big Bryce Oliver believer.
Yeah, there you go. Colton Dow,
Colton Dow season loading. Jaquan Jackson about to make a comeback. He had a pretty disastrous rookie season.
Yeah, we wasn't happy when we drafted him.
No, I wasn't. He was, I think, the one I was most upset about.
Yeah.
Pick wise, I was just like, because at that point I still liked Kyle Phillips.
Yeah.
I still liked Kyle Phillips. Where I'm just like, if Kyle Phillips could be healthy, he's a heck of a slot receiver.
Kyle Phillips? I feel like Kyle Phillips, we should have kept him, in my opinion. And I think
he's Super Bowl ring now.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if he was just on their practice squad. But yeah, so I think that's why I was annoyed with it, because I'm like, I'm okay with Kyle Phillips. So we can just get him healthy. He'll be a perfectly fine and capable wide receiver there in the slot. And then we get Jaquan Jackson. We had a lot of other needs, not just other needs, but there were other better wide receiver prospects still available.
I knew I was supposed to say that. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I can't remember what his last name was, but it was Malik something. That was a higher prospect, and he ended up going in the 6th round as well. But after we picked, where I'm like, why do we go Jaquan Jackson? It's kind of like the Dez Fitzpatrick pick, because remember I really wanted Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round, and we trade up. I'm like, ooh, and we trade up, get a wide receiver, Dez Fitzpatrick.
That guy disappeared so fast.
Yeah, he was terrible.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown looks pretty decent.
Amon-Ra St. Brown looks fantastic. Fantastical. All right, well, Cam Ward season seems to be loading, everybody. Hope we're excited about it. Make sure you let us know.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, at this point, it's probably over a 90% chance that it happens, unless the Giants, which the Giants are stupid, but if the Giants do something stupid and offer 3 first rounds and a 2nd this year and a 3rd next, or something insane like that, where you're like,
and if that happens, I say take it.
I agree. I say take it. So heck, if it's Arch Manning at pick number 1, I'd be tempted to take it, but obviously I wouldn't take that. But let us know in the comments, what do we think? Are we at peace with that? Are we excited about it? Are we bummed about it? Titans haven't taken correct me if I'm wrong, Titans have never taken a quarterback 1st overall. Am I correct? Actually, have we ever selected 1st overall?
I want to say I hope we haven't, but I can't.
Yeah, I think I heard that as
Titans.
well.
Maybe the Oilers did. I don't know, but
yeah,
I don't think the Titans have.
Yeah. So since we have been alive, I don't think we've taken a pick 1st overall.
Yeah.
So,
which means draft day would be short if you're excited for your team. We'll sit out, Titans pick it. I'm done.
Yeah. Time to go to sleep.
Unless we trade back, but then we'll have a bunch of picks.
True. Okay. Guess with that being said, we can call it a day on here. It's a fantastic show, I bet. Even though we really didn't have a very organized show, we just kind of just started yapping. I just kind of threw the thumbnail together in 30 seconds, and we just hit go live, and we just started talking. So that being said, I guess we're done. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing. So that way, because we are really sporadic when we decide to go live. And like I said, I'll be off the next 2 weekends because I'll be on a cruise ship. So you're not going to hear from me / us until like mid-April, basically. So make sure you get subscribed. Make sure you turn on the notification bell. Because again, very, very spotty when we decide to go live. So if you want to make sure you hop in here when we do go live, have the notification bell turned on. All right. Got anything you want to add before we get on out of here?
No, sir.
All right. That being said, tighten up, peace out, and all that jazz.